16.
FPO just wrapped up, and I cannot believe the amount of great plays that we saw. Let's talk about it. There are countless things that happened at the Portland Open this year. I don't even know where to start, but let's just begin with Kristin. Now, you could say that she played not the best her final round, but she still finished with 5 birdies. And while this may be the weakest round that she's had the entire tournament and doesn't really compare to the other rounds, it is still a great round. And we're trying to maintain a 5-6 stroke lead. There's no reason to push it. So I can definitely understand how she was only 1 under through 13 holes. But honestly, her game really didn't look that bad. She had 1 OB stroke, and that definitely instilled a little bit of jitters to everyone watching. Like, can she actually choke this lead? That doesn't really sound like Kristin, but anything could happen. But no, she still dominated, finished with 4 strokes over Sai Ananda. And a very interesting thing that happened was this post-round interview.
Champion, you're 1 for 1. How does it feel?
I'm so relieved it's over. One of the toughest rounds of my life. Just fighting not to cry right now because it was so tough. I just kept reminding myself to fight, and I'm not a quitter, and I mean, things weren't going my way, so now that it's done and I came out as a winner, it's just amazing.
And I am just absolutely shocked that that is her response. At least on the MPO side, when somebody has like a 7-stroke lead or whatever, they're kind of like, yeah, I just kind of played it conservative, didn't really play too aggressive, got the win, I'm pretty happy. But Kristin's over here showing such true humility and humbleness and being like, yeah, I was actually terrified. I thought I was going to freaking start crying. I was so nervous. I was so on edge, and I just did not feel like my game was going well, which is insane to hear that, because if you're the top player on FPO week after week, as a fan, you don't tend to expect those people to be talking about how nervous they are. But it just shows that Kristin cares so much about this game, and her skill ceiling is just so high that anything below that just really eats away at her, because she knows that she can be so much better. And if I am the competition, I am probably just a little bit terrified knowing that she will be such an elite force for the duration of the time that she's playing, which could be a while. Looking at the next player I want to talk about, and that is JK, Juliana Korver. You definitely don't tend to expect her to destroy at a tournament like this. Super long, a lot of circle 2 putts. And while her putting certainly was not phenomenal, she had 14% circle 2, 60% circle 1. It is much better than it has been in the past. And you can tell with some of the putts that she was making, she was such a confident putter, which is the most important thing for her game, because when it falls, it really falls. And she can really have some of the worst putting in the entire division. But with an 86% circle 1 in round 3, she was really heating up. I thought she might actually take the win, which would be just phenomenal. It didn't actually end up that way. Her final round was very good, 6 under for her level, but just not exactly where you need it to be. But all in all, she showed so much confidence that I definitely foresee her to get another podium finish before the year's end. And I'm not for sure, but I believe this is kind of her farewell year, where she's going to move to the Disc Golf Pro Tour as a commentator in the 2024 season. I'm not sure if that's hard confirmed, but if that is true, then I would love to see her finish out this career on top, getting at least a podium finish again, because she is showing herself to be a truly elite force after decades of being on tour. And just like Kristin, she is so humble that you really have to root for her, especially when she's throwing such confident lines and getting birdies on distance holes that you would definitely not expect her to get. And it was pretty funny. Zoe on the stream said, if any of you have a JK AVR, make sure to pick it up and give her good luck. All right, next up I want to talk about Ohn the dog Scoggins. She got that Scog in him, and it showed in spades today. Besides 2 OB throws, she was basically lights out the entire round, 100% circle 1, 40% circle 2, and just could not miss. With a 10 under on the final round being the course record, she went from being 7th to in a podium spot. And if she was able to actually scratch that bogey, then there was potential for her to get to 2nd place, which would be insane. Didn't quite finish that way, but still a great finish from Ohn. And I know that she has a higher potential in those earlier rounds that could have secured her a higher position, but all in all, such a great finish for her. And not just circle 2. Circle 1 is just amazing. But lastly, I gotta talk about Sai Ananda. Anaconda. She was ready to strike, but with an early bogey, kind of took the wind out of her sails a little bit, but you really couldn't tell based upon her play after that hole 1. She threw with so much confidence. She overturned some of her shots. She had to be a little sneaky through some fairways, but she threw such good golf. And not only that, but being from the Northwest, she had everybody there rooting for her. When she jammed in a putt, there were electric roars. cheering her on, and you could tell how much the Portland people wanted Sai Ananda to win, even though I'm sure they like Kristen too, but they cheered her on. She showed amazing confidence the entire round, and even with some short circle one putts missed, she still had full confidence to get comeback putts and to stay in the mix. So while I don't know that she will be a mainstay in the podium finish spot, I definitely think this is a great trend for Sai, and it was actually mentioned on the stream that she has been around for like a decade now. She actually beat Sarah Hokum in like 2016, I guess. So she may seem new to tour, but she is definitely not new to disc golf. She's been around for a while, and I think that shows because her confidence and shot making was just elite levels today, and I'm so excited to see what will come of Sai in the future. So while this was a Kristen win, and I'm very excited that she will be back on top after returning from Europe, I do think this is a major win for JK, a major win for Sai Ananda, and a major win for Ohn. And all in all, I have to say that I really dug this course. The challenges may be a little bit trivial after like you've played a couple rounds, but I do think there is great scenery. You have a lot to work with all the trees and the sand. It can be a little bit gimmicky because you have a shot that'll just bounce off a little bit off the fairway going into like out of bounds or go into the sand. But with that said, I still really enjoyed it. And with the European Open coming up, I would love to see if Kristen maintains her dominance, wins a major. I know that this event wasn't a major, but it sure did feel like it a little bit. So if we can get a continuation of that at the European Open, that would be so cool. But overall, 10 out of 10 event. Love it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Wild Runs signing out. Peace.
Yeah.